This guy asks how to avoid awkward silences. Well, know that not always is a silence a bad thing. Like sometimes it can be kind of nice and relieving if you're comfortable in that silence. And then you just like take a moment to just kind of like not talk or notice something that's really cool in the environment that you're in. So sometimes silence can actually be kind of like that relief. So understand that. But also, well, let's get into your post and I'll see what I can do. Although I am 30, single as fuck at the moment, I wanted to know how to avoid awkward silences on dating apps and actual dates. Well, with dating apps, you're probably going to get awkward silences if you're even using them, just because it's like it's not as engaging. And so you want to use those basically dating apps to just kind of get to know her a little bit, maybe like 3 texts on your part, then get her on the phone or like some Zoom call, see if she's cool, see if she has a high level of interest in you and you have a high level of interest in her, and then get her on the date. On the date, it's like, well, have some questions that you can ask her that are really fun to answer. So hey, what do you do for fun? What do you do for your job? If you had a dream job, what would it be? If you had one place you would like to travel to, where would that be? Or where's the most fun place you've ever traveled to? When was the last time you laughed out loud? Kind of music do you like? Have you seen any good movies lately? Um, what are some skills you have that not a lot of people know about, or what's something that you're proud about? Maybe you went through something tough and it's like you came out and you learned so much and now you're proud of like what you're just proud of something. What's that? um just things like that, things that are fun, that are light, that are not just like bringing up difficult subjects or whatever. It's like, and if you get those difficult subjects, well, just maybe answer them, but talk about what you learned from them and then just change it. But it's like, if you approach it like, how can I genuinely find what this other person's interested in? Ask yourself, to your just in your head, just ask yourself, how can I find something that this person is genuinely interested in? When you do that, it's like your focus automatically just shifts, and then you just come up with the actions to find that thing. And you really only have to find like 1 or 2 things that the other person's interested in, that they like to talk about, and then you just ask further and go deeper on that. And so that's really how you get her to talk. And you want to be the one who gets her to talk through the questions you ask. And so it's like the one who asks the questions is usually in control of the relationship, or not necessarily the relationship in that context, but the conversation. And so it's like, if you can guide her through that and get her to do what she naturally does, which is talk. Women talk about 4 times as much as guys per day. And so that just creates an opportunity to really build rapport, because she's doing what she's naturally doing. You're doing what you're naturally doing. And then just that talking and kind of like your body movements. Oftentimes we just like mirror each other just naturally if we get in rapport. But that often starts with just words and asking questions and having fun things to talk about. So sometimes, like those questions I mentioned, are good to just memorize, and then you can just kind of like resort to them when the time comes. I am shy, but I lose track of time when I speak with someone with similar tastes. The problem is the other person has to get me talking, and that's too much pressure on her. Well, just ask questions. It's really that simple. Just ask questions. What would you suggest to avoid or break awkward silences and continue with the conversation? Well, one, put yourself in the moment. Don't basically like overanalyze. Oh, what do I have to say? If I just need to say the perfect thing, it just puts a bunch of pressure on yourself and gets you in your head thinking like intellectually. Oh, I have to do this and therefore this, and like the equation mindset kind of deal. Instead of just like acting in congruence with the moment and what the moment calls for. And you do that by really focusing on the other person and not focusing on yourself. So focus on, hey, what is this person feeling? And so like, what are they doing? How come they did this? Or just being really interested in the other person. If you are interested, you become interesting. So just really remember that. The problem also trickles in normal friendships, as well as I get stuck in the acquaintance phase where I don't get invited. Thank you. Yeah, it just seems like you're in your head. So it's like you're thinking on what you have to do, what perfect action can I take? and you're just all kind of focused on yourself really. And so it's like focus on the environment, focus on what's going on. It's like, well, get yourself in almost like that zone. And so it's like in track and field, like I remember times when I had like PRs in like high jump and events like that. But what I would do is I would just like, okay, take a deep breath and put it into my heart. So to like basically take the oxygen and visualize the oxygen just going right into my heart. That way I get more in my heart. Sometimes I even put my hand on my heart and just kind of feel my heartbeat, breathe into my heart. Just kind of do that discreetly, but then also just stop, take a moment, and then just like listen to all the environment things that are going around in you. And that kind of just puts you in the moment. And so just like notice things you didn't really notice before just by listening. And then maybe you like look at things you're grateful for that or just like really cool. So maybe it's like the sunshine against like the leaves and just the color that creates, and be grateful for that and just kind of take that in. It's really just basically stacking a bunch of things together to get you in that moment. Or when you're hurting, it's like recognize that, hey, maybe this other person's hurting too. It's like I'm running right next to this guy and I feel so much pain and everything just yelling at me to stop in my body. I'm just breathing heavy, and it's just like I don't know if I can keep going. But it's like, and then you get out of your head by, hey, this person that's running side by side with me, they're feeling that same thing as well. And then it's like, okay, I can do this. I can get basically puts you into your heart, you know. And so those are all just really things you can do. And then how you move as well. If you're moving in a confident way, how you're breathing. Are you taking deep breaths compared to shallow breaths, hunched over? You know, it's like, are you just like straight up, not back or anything, but just like straight up? Is your body position strong? Like all these things really make a difference into kind of getting you into that present moment. And it's a skill. I mean, it goes along with, you know, active listening as well. That gets you in the moment. Just like engage in really focusing on understanding the other person, not focusing on, oh, what am I going to say?